So I just want to talk about my problem with most trans people, mainly trans women, because I don't really know much about trans men. From what I've seen about trans men is they seem more in touch with their assigned birth than trans women. Like trans women don't seem as in touch with their assigned birth. But the sad thing about trans women, they still act like they assigned birth with the same sex and with the opposite sex. Because what I noticed with trans women, they be providing man sex and sex appeal and stuff like that. They just basically try to provide pleasure to men and try to be provide pleasure to men. But the thing about providing, that's a man's freedom. They shouldn't be trying to provide anything, they shouldn't be providing at all. If they're trying to be women, they should be focused on giving value to things. They should be focused on giving value to that man, focused on giving value to them, value to anything, really. They can give value to anything. So the fact that they're still providing, that they're calling themselves women, is that a giveaway that they're not real women. And if they were, and that's just basically their freedom, that's talking about their freedom. But if they were doing their job as women, they would be helping men, basically. And I can't really talk about on if they be helping men or not, because all I see is the relationships. I don't really see the entire lifestyle. I don't know if they be actually helping, like some, because they be doing women things, but it's not like they're being actual women. It just feel like they're providing women quality, that's the problem. They're not being, they're just providing it, and providing is a man's trait. That's a man's freedom. It's like they're not actually being women. They're just providing womanhood. They're not actually being womanhood. They're just providing it for men and for women, so they're still being man in their heart, not knowing it. And same for trans men. Even I don't know much about them, but from what I've seen, they be giving value to masculinity. And the thing about giving value, that's a woman's freedom to give value. And they be giving value to masculinity. But the thing about I've seen different about trans women than trans women is that they seem more in touch with their assigned birth, because they're willing to be humiliated. They're willing to be placed in a position of a woman more acceptingly than a trans woman to be accepted in a place of a man, basically. They're willing to let the opposite sex or the same sex, whatever perspective you want to look from it, treat them like they're assigned birth. Like, they're willing to be treated that way. Even though they don't, I don't know why though. I don't really get that. I'm not a trans man, so I wouldn't understand the appeal of wanting to be basically disrespected, basically. But that's also saying more about what they are inside. That's saying more of their womanhood, because that's an emotional thing. As for me, an actual trans film, I'm not a normal girl. So like, I already made videos of what type of girl I am. I'm basically a dope lolly, so I live in the girls' world. So maybe, I just can't see it from a trans film perspective. And I haven't really seen most trans film act like they're assigned birth. Besides, providing womanhood instead of being womanhood, it's like I don't really see them like being disrespected as they assigned birth. Like, I don't see them like to be treated as they assigned birth. While trans men seem more acceptable about that. I don't know I don't know why though. It's probably just a woman thing, like, because sadly, I guess women like being treated like women. That's probably just it. But I guess for trans men or trans women, they be treated by their assigned birth is more disrespectful. I guess because men have to build value, so they don't see the value of being disrespected as a man, while women have value from birth, have nothing but value. They can provide nothing but value. So that's probably why they're more acceptable to be treated as their assigned birth, even though they're presenting as men and giving value to masculinity, which is a woman's thing, because they're not being a man. That's the problem. they're not being it. So I'm gonna give you 2 examples of a real trans woman and a real trans man. So the first real trans man I can give you is Emiok. I know that's surprising, but that's the man right there. So I'm gonna put him in the description. Emiok is a man, and if you want to see an unknown popular trans woman that's not known as a trans woman, it's just NBA Youngboy. I already put him on one of my videos, but NBA Youngboy is a trans woman, and Emiok is a trans man. And I noticed just by the way they interact with genders, like that's the dead giveaway about the majority of people that's presenting trans and trans. They're still interacting the same way as their assigned birth. They're not really, like, the trans women are not giving value, are not helping men and giving value to things, and the trans men are not working and providing things. They're basically just using their freedom to emulate the opposite sex, basically the sex they want to be. Like, they're trying to be the opposite sex. So I respect them, but I won't call them transgender. I'll call them more like a trigender. They're more trigender people. They're not really actual trans people. It's not that I don't believe in trans people, because I'm one of them. It's just I don't believe the brand of trans people that they're selling, because they're just not being what they say they are. They're just providing or multiplying a representation of the gender they're trying to be, basically. So that's my problem with most trans people. But it's not like I don't hate them. It's not like I hate them or anything. It's just I know the truth about them, sadly. And the reason why, and the sad thing about these actual trans people I know, they don't present themselves as trans. And the truth about it is they don't really have to. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, they're being it regardless if they represent it as a choice. Because I feel like even if they were to come out as what they truly were, the people would be hateful towards them. The people would actually hate them for it. And especially the actual trans people, because they're just being what they are naturally instead of trying to be it. You know, they're not trysexuals. They're actually transgender. Like, they're actually doing their role in life as a man or a woman, even though they're in the opposite sex, even though they're in the wrong body, basically. You know, it's basically like they're still providing their role regardless if they're presenting as outwardly trans or just being inwardly trans, you know? So if you want to see an example of 2 real trans people, Transman, Emiok, trans woman, Kentrell, NBA Youngboy. So those 2 examples, I know more of them, but they're not really as popular. And Emiok is decent. He's crazy as fuck though. But yeah, that's a boy though. And Youngboy is a girl. So those are examples of true trans people. I know that y'all look at them and be like, they don't act like women, but it's not really the act. It's more the role and the freedom that matters, you know? It's their role and their freedom and what they do with it. And they do it like they actual sex, bro. So you gotta look how they interact with the opposite. You gotta look how they interact with freedom in their job and with the opposite sex and with the same sex. That's the dead giveaway. Because if they look like they're providing and they're saying they're a woman, then they're being a man. And if they look like they're just giving value to something, then they're basically being a woman saying they're a man, basically. But if they're just naturally being that way and they're just being, then they really are that thing they say they are. So yeah.